What if I told you Australia's happiest city in 2025 isn't Sydney and it isn't Melbourne either? It's somewhere you'd never expect. These results genuinely shocked me, and by the end of this video, you might be rethinking your dream Aussie city too. So grab a cuppa, get comfy, and let's dive into the most surprising city rankings Australia has ever seen.
You better take cover.
Before we jump into the numbers, you might be wondering, how do you actually even measure what happiness is in a city? Well, it's all thanks to the official 2025 Happy City Index. It's an annual report conducted by the Institute for Quality of Life. Now, this isn't just some bloke with a clipboard asking you if you're having a good day. This study uses 82 different indicators across 6 major categories. Things like, is the city run by competent humans or complete muppets? Can you actually breathe the air without coughing up a lung? And can you see a doctor without remortgaging your house? It's not just about sunshine and flat whites. It's about how cities actually work for real people every single day. Kicking us off at 9th place, Perth. Now, don't get me wrong, Perth's got stunning beaches and that classic laid-back WA vibe. I've got family there who swear by the lifestyle, and watching a sunset over the Indian Ocean with a cold one is really hard to argue with. But Perth landed at 165th globally. The isolation factor is real, literally one of the most isolated cities on the planet. There's the economic roller coaster tied to mining and resources. When commodity prices drop, suddenly there are more for sale signs than you can poke a stick at. Perth's got heart and natural beauty in spades, but when measuring happiness across 82 indicators, those structural challenges seem to really add up. Up next in 8th place, Darwin. Those tropical vibes are legendary, but Darwin ranks 146 globally. There's something magical about endless summer nights and that frontier spirit. The markets, outdoor lifestyle, multicultural food scene, it's got character all in spades. But reality bites with that extreme climate. 2 seasons, wet and dry. During the wet season, humidity makes you sweat just thinking about it. Plus cyclones that reshape landscapes overnight. Career opportunities are limited unless you're in mining, defence, government or tourism. It's closer to Indonesia than to Sydney. That isolation means everything costs more, and community safety concerns impact on that happiness score as well. At number 7, Hobart. Many people have a soft spot for Tassie's capital. Cosy, creative, with unique charm. Where else can you have Mona blowing your mind one day and be hiking Mount Wellington the next? Saturday markets at Salamanca Place are legendary. And the food scene punches well above its weight for a city of just 250,000 people. But at 135th globally, limited services bite when you need them most. Specialist medical care often means flying to Melbourne, fewer educational options, and public transport that's not really winning any awards. Tasmania's unemployment sits above the national average, job markets are thin, wages are lower than mainland capitals as well. Power bills are some of the country's highest, and shipping costs over Bass Strait are brutal. In 6th place, the Gold Coast. Sitting at 88th globally, if you love surf, sun and tourism-fueled lifestyle, well, this is your jam. The beaches are epic, nightlife's wild and there's always something happening. Theme parks, festivals and endless summer vibes make it a playground for many Aussies. The economy heavily relies on tourism, meaning seasonal job instability. Housing costs have skyrocketed, making it tough for even locals to afford living where they work. The transient population means building lasting community connections can be pretty challenging. At number 5, Brisbane. 78th globally, and honestly, I reckon it's been underrated for years. It's got youthful energy, great weather, and a booming economy. The food scene's unreal, and there are always festivals and people are genuinely friendly here. Last time I visited, I was blown away by how much it had changed. It's really come into its own. I always thought about moving back to Australia and eventually settling somewhere near Brizzy. But it turns out I'm not the only one. It's getting too crowded now for even my liking. With the 2032 Olympics coming, infrastructure investment is also massive. The job market's diverse from tech to mining headquarters, and The cost of living is reasonable compared to Sydney and Melbourne. The river city lifestyle, proximity to both Gold Coast beaches and the Sunshine Coast, plus famous Queensland friendliness make it a genuine quality of life contender. Now, there are plenty of Aussie cities that did not make it onto the list. Places like Wollongong, Newcastle, Geelong and Townsville all failed to register. So if your city is not on the list, let me know in the comments how you think it stacks up against the big guns. I'm genuinely looking for somewhere to call home when we move back. Fourth place, and this might shock some of you, Sydney. Our harbour city, our global face. It comes in at number 75 on the worldwide scale. Now, before all you Sydney-siders start typing angry comments, hear me out. Sydney's got world-class culture, incredible job opportunities, and that harbour view that never gets old. But those sky-high living costs and traffic jams that would make a saint swear are really dragging it down. When I tell my American mates that a decent coffee in Sydney costs $8 or more, they think I'm joking. Sydney, I personally think you're one of the best places in the world to live, especially around the Shire and northern beaches. But, geez, you're getting expensive. I'd need to win the lotto just to go and buy into the market there nowadays. Coming in at number 3, Melbourne, at 67th globally. Melbourne's always been seen as the cultural heart of Australia. Melbourne's got world-class culture, incredible music venues, and street art that changes faster than the weather. The food scene is absolutely mental. You can grab authentic Vietnamese in Richmond, then walk 15 minutes for some of the best Italian outside of Italy in Carlton. But those housing prices are brutal, and don't get me started on the weather. Those grey winter months and rental markets so competitive you need a resume just of your property are real mood killers. So Sydney's 4th and Melbourne's 3rd, who could possibly be in the top 2? Well, second place goes to Canberra. At 51st globally, our nation's capital is really the quiet achiever. Amazing public services, green spaces, and some of the lowest crime rates in the country. The city itself is seriously livable, and most pollies fly in and out, so you don't have to worry about them. Everything's planned, everything works, and you can almost afford to live there, especially compared to Sydney or Melbourne. I called Canberra home for 15 years prior to moving to the US, and honestly, in many ways, I wish we'd never left. Having been back recently, it still feels like home. The downside, those cold winters where you can scrape ice off the windscreen, combined with scorching hot summers and no breeze. It's a good thing Bateman's Bay is just 2 hours away, or you'll see more ACT number plates on weekends than anything else. Now, before we crown our Aussie winner, let's put this into a global perspective. The world's happiest city? Well, that'd be Copenhagen in Denmark, followed by Zurich and Singapore. The Danes have 4 cities in the top 30, so surely we can claim some credit with Tasmanian-born Queen Mary, right? And here's something that might sting a little. Auckland in New Zealand snuck in at 28, beating every single Australian city. Even New York City managed 17th place in the world as the top city in the US. So back to Australia, we've got Canberra in 2nd, Melbourne 3rd, and Sydney 4th, which means first place goes to a city that I guarantee most of you didn't see coming. Australia's happiest city in 2025 is Adelaide. Pick your jewels up off the floor, ranked 29th globally and earning a gold tier badge. Adelaide has officially beaten every other Australian city. I'll be honest, I always thought Adelaide was a bit sleepy. Turns out it's been quietly smashing it while the rest of us were distracted by house prices and traffic. Let's break down why Adelaide took the crown. First, community wellbeing. Adelaide consistently ranks top tier for social cohesion and community connection. People actually know their neighbours. Local events bring everyone together, and there's a genuine belonging that's harder to find in the bigger cities. Then there's the 20-minute city concept. You can get anywhere in Adelaide in 20 minutes. Work, shopping, entertainment, visiting mates. 20 minutes max. Compare that to sitting in Sydney traffic for 2 hours and you start to see the appeal. The economy's more diverse than you might think. Cost of living's actually manageable, and there's a real focus on work-life balance. Adelaide's not just keeping up, it's quietly leading the way in Australia. Maybe it's time to rethink which cities really deliver on happiness, not just hype. Now for me, these rankings are a reminder that sometimes the best places to live fly completely under the radar. Adelaide has been getting on with the job while everyone else was arguing about house prices and traffic jams. Now, I really want to hear from you. Which city on this list surprised you the most? Drop your stories in the comments below, and if this video opened your eyes to a different side of Down Under, share it with your mates and give it a thumbs up for me too. As a reminder, we're also on Spotify. You can catch the From Down Under to Down South podcast. Hooroo, mateys.